Hi, hope you're all well. Today I want to talk a little bit about the 7 major energy leaks we have. That we leak our energy and give it freely to everybody, places, every day. So how do we know we do that? When we get home at the end of the day, I used to find it very hard to settle down and talk to partners and the family. I needed a bit of space to unwind from the day, but it turned out to be that I was giving my energy away every day. When I got home, I didn't have any left for my family, for myself, and it took a long time to discover that every single day when I got home, I was so exhausted and drained. Being a high empath, dark empath, we need to understand energy. It took me a while. Now I can transmute the energy that I pick up, which helps me a lot. But for everybody else, there's 7 main reasons we give away our energy, our life force, our prana, every day. So I'll touch on each of those so you can look at your lives and see where you're wasting energy, because we all waste energy every day. Even myself, I'm consciously aware most of my time where my energy is going. It's hard to see where it's going all of the time because there's a lot of hidden or stuff that we don't really pay attention to. Like, for example, old people and emails, old subscriptions, old contacts and Facebook, social media. They can drain your energy without knowing, because you still have an energy tie with these people, even though you don't deal with them anymore. And it makes sense to, you don't have to cut them out of your life, but just detach energetically and pull your energy back so you can contain your energy within yourself, and you can pour this energy into yourself, which will help you make better decisions, help you get some clarity, help you heal, help you move through life in a more prepared way. Imagine, like most of us, we have empty buckets. So at the end of the day, when we have an empty bucket and there's nothing left to draw on, and then we have this and this and this pile on top, we become overwhelmed, crack, break, because there's nothing left. There's no energy to give these new situations that have arisen. So for myself, it's taken me a while, but every day I go through the motions of throwing something away, throwing something broken away. Don't keep broken stuff at home, because it tells the abundance within you that you're quite happy to deal with broken stuff, broken shoes, all of this stuff. Don't keep it. It's not good. It just attracts negative energy and it doesn't help your abundance line or your energy. So get rid of it. So these are the things that I actively do each day. I look at my thought process. If these patterns are repeating, so for example, the first energy leak is scattered thoughts. So we all have scattered thoughts, which I was just touching on. So we wake up first thing in the morning. I'm not sure how your thinking process is. For me, I spend the first 2 minutes staying out of my head, not just being neutral, no thoughts, or just observe my thoughts for that first 2 minutes plus. It's a Thoth, something Thoth came up with, and it helps a lot. It sets your day in motion to have a neutral ability to step into the world. So scattered thoughts. So all of these thoughts that you have every day, you wake up in the morning, you've got a phone bill to pay, you've got to go to work, you've got to take the kids, you've got to cook dinner. And sometimes, like, as I just said, like, we're already looking at dinner and we've just woken up. So that's crazy. We've just wasted all that energy just preparing our day, not even getting up. Our brain takes up to 25% of our energy. Up to 75%, I'm told, when you're studying. That's a lot. That's a lot of energy. When you go to work and you're using that much energy and you're feeding all this energy to people, to situations, to Facebook, to social media each and every day, you can see where your energy is draining. Imagine a tin with 1,000 holes drilled into it. We're not going to be able to hold much in the way of water or anything. We need to fill those holes. How we fill those holes is we remove these little attachments of energy as we move through our life each and every day. It's a conscious decision. We can start with something easy. Some people in Facebook or social media, I'm not picking on Facebook, but social media, people that you don't interact with anymore, groups that you don't interact with anymore. We just get inundated to the point where we've got like 1,000 emails we've got to look after. We've got 1,000 people in our contacts list that we haven't spoken to some of these people for 20 years. There's still an energy tie there. So it's good to go through life and look at where your energy is being wasted and bring it back to yourself. When you bring it back to yourself, you can pour that into yourself. You can start loving yourself more, creating a bit of respect for yourself, because you start filling your cup a little each and every day. And the more you fill your cup, when situations come at you, you're much better prepared to handle them, because instead of reacting, you can pause for a moment, respond, push it to the side, then take care of it. Overwhelming thoughts are one of the biggest scattered thought processes around. Overwhelming is when you're constantly having these same nagging thoughts, repeated pattern thought processes over and over and over again. Let's say you want to sell a car. You've got all these thought processes happening. I've got to do the ad. It's got to be perfect. I've got to sell it. It's got to be this much. I have to get this much. Blah, 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 blah. It's a big, lengthy process. What happens if you don't take action, you constantly overthink. You'll think about this. You'll think about this. And then you'll throw all these other pieces in there and mash it all up, create this absolute thought process, which is just killing your energy. And of course, where your thought goes, that's where your attention goes, and the energy. So that's what you're manifesting. If you're constantly in scattered thoughts, you're going to manifest drama and chaos, because there's no focus or clarity. So look at your thoughts, where your energy is going. A lot of people, for example, they'll sit down and they'll have their breakfast. Instead of being present while they're eating their breakfast, they're eating their breakfast, thinking about the drive to work. When they're driving to work, they're thinking about what they're going to have for lunch. When they're sitting down eating lunch, they're thinking about the work for the afternoon. Not a lot of people are sitting present. They're sitting here, projecting to the future what's coming next. Instead of living in the now, in the present. Walk the neutral line. So the second loss of energy a lot is irresponsible word. I've had a lot of irresponsible word in my time. I've had a lot of emotions, a lot pulled out when I'm asked certain things. Sometimes I say it's probably not good to go there, and if you go there, it's not good for what you'll receive. But I'm learning myself, even making these videos. It helps me learn as well. So irresponsible word. Living in society, we're forced to talk every day. Speak it into existence as part of manifestation techniques. There's a lot of techniques. But irresponsible word. Like, let's say you're driving to work, someone cuts you off, and you go, I hope you have a bad accident. Chances are they might, because your emotions are high, you're emotionally charged, you've got intent, and then you utter those words. You've just cast a spell. You've just created an actual spell. There's a probability that a spell could come true and that person could have an accident because you wished it upon them. You didn't mean to. But unless we understand how the process works, we're going to continue causing destruction out there, not creation, each and every day. We're creators, but we can be destroyers. Look at what we've done to this planet. We don't want to destroy anymore, we want to create. In order to create, we need clarity and focus in the mind. So there's two huge reasons we give our energy away every day. The third one is unprocessed emotion. We all carry around a lot of emotions, especially from childhood, a lot of these childhood traumas and unprocessed emotions from the traumas that are surrounded by it. What happens is if we're in a traumatized situation, for example, if I'm bailed up somewhere, instead of reaching for my toolbox, I used to step into my rage because I was already at an overwhelmed state. I wasn't really able to handle much more. So the straw that broke the camel's back was always breaking my back, and I'd explode. Because I was carrying around so many unprocessed emotions. Emotions, energy in motion. There's a lot of somatic exercises out there that will help you release unprocessed emotions, especially around the hips. That's where we keep a lot of them. So when we, for example, step into a rage, instead of allowing that emotion that I was originally feeling coming through and sitting with that emotion and asking it what it wants to show me and learning from it, acknowledging it and allowing it to go, because it's like a storm. If we allow that storm to blow itself out, that's how we process emotions. But what happens is, if that emotion is rising and I feel it and it's an uncomfortable emotion, I'll reach for rage or anger. And what that does is it suppresses the emotion that should have come up. Now I'm dealing with my rage. But it became so much that I was basically just rage. And I had to look at this emotions. So I started working with my emotions, with my inner child, shadow work. And I got to the stage now where I'm a lot calmer. My central nervous system is relaxing more. My vagus nerve is relaxing more. I still have the divine masculine always go, go, go. It's hard when you're programmed to go, go, go and struggle and grind all your life, and then to rest. So in my room, I have my own room down here. I've been in this room isolated 90% of the time for the last 8 months. And even after 8 months, it's still really hard to just rest, be bored. Being bored is good. Being bored is natural. It takes you into a network state of thinking that allows you to tap into more than you can see, more than you know, just by sitting with yourself in silence and just being bored. It's hard to do, but we've got to do it. So unprocessed emotions, that's another big one. Unconscious consumption of information is another huge one. News, for example, Channel 9, newspapers, listening to people out there, the radio, the wars, the invasions, the Facebook, the social media, the YouTube. I can be guilty sometimes of spending a little bit too much time on YouTube, simply because it's an amazing learning platform. Some of the information that I'm getting, and me being a bit of a sponge that I am, I love learning. I understand that all the information is within us. Sometimes it just takes a trigger from the external to allow you to move into the eternal and work with that trigger that you've just learned. So I'm a bit guilty sometimes, but I do pull back, a digital detox, go into nature, grounding. So unconscious consumption, we take a lot of information, even through our dead eyes, as I call them, through our eyes, like going to, say, a cityscape with the signs and the lights and the flashing everything. It's an overwhelming state of being. Go into nature where it's all green, heart chakra color. It's beautiful, it's inviting, it's calming. A cityscape is not calming, it's very agitating. EMFs, electromagnetic radiation, Wi-Fi, cell phone towers, 5G, all of this stuff smashing you each and every day. Rattling your central nervous system. Central nervous system is a big part of manifestation and keeping calm. That's why a lot of people can't remain calm out there, because the agitated state is too high. If you sleep next to a power point, that's no good for your head. Electromagnetic forces and radiation can enter you, disrupt your sleeping patterns. It's not good. So unconscious consumption, be aware of, you've probably heard before, be aware of what you are consuming. Try not to consume too much negative stuff. And that's the problem with a lot of social media. It'll be bad, it'll be good, it'll be lovely, it'll be devastating feed, it'll make you angry as hell, then you'll be happy as Larry. By the end of the day, your brain's going thump, 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 your eyes are popping out of your head, can't think straight, you're angry and happy all at the same time, because you've got all these emotions from the feed. See, emotions are slightly delayed from the thinking or the the information entering process. So when the information enters your space, there's a slight couple of second lag for the emotions. So as you're moving from post to meme to post to story, your emotions are slowly following. And when you close that phone, you'll notice, if I said to you, what emotion are you feeling right now? You probably won't be able to tell me, because you're absolutely a washing machine of emotions. So what we have to do is digital detox, watch our consumption, bring it down to a point where we can consciously be aware of our energy and where we're using it, where we're bleeding it, where we're draining it, where we can get it back. Energy is very important. We think of energy as like a battery. We are a battery. We're basically a salt battery. But if we don't have enough energy, or our central nervous system isn't working the best, we're never going to manifest anything of value, really. Because the manifestation is going to be so chaotic. Imagine focusing a laser beam of focus into something and putting 100% of your energy behind that. Your manifestation is going to be pretty good. Now imagine that laser being scattered to a million different parts. That focused manifestation that you want is scattered through 1,000 different areas where you're leaking your energy. So your manifestation is not going to be very good. It's going to be quite chaotic. You might get something come in, but it's not going to be what you want. It's not going to be what you want. And the system is designed to keep you in that state, so you can't manifest the reality that you want. So we're here to help you by teaching you some of these things. Next one I want to talk about is toxic relationships. We're all aware of them. I'm not going to go into the details of toxic relationships. There's a million videos out there. I might do one day. If you're in a toxic relationship, whether it's a boss or a partner or whatever the case may be, if it's truly toxic, really, the only thing you can do is leave. If you're both on a path of healing, then help each other, be there for each other. But if one is healing and the other is not, it's never going to work. The best thing you can do is thank that person and leave. I hear it all the time. People get stuck. I get it. Like marriage. I don't agree with marriage. I know it's probably going to upset some people. The reason I don't agree with marriage is when you meet somebody, the universe has put you together. You are to learn lessons from each other. Once those lessons are learnt, you've outgrown that relationship, and you'll know. Now it's time to move on. But when you're in this marriage thing, your family makes you stay, your kids make you stay, your partner makes you stay, and you stay in the shitty environment that's absolutely fucking destroying you. I know. I know very well. For me, I've disconnected and detached from everybody. I'm ready. Next couple of months, I'll be 100% alone. And that's what I'm aiming for. So I can go and spend quality time in nature on my own and really learn who I am. Learn my gifts, learn my powers. A lot of chosen and light workers moving out of society right now. We've been asked to move out. We've been asked to go and heal, to receive ancient wisdom. And then a bit in the future, we're all going to be called back into society where we cannot lose ourselves anymore, and we are fully prepared to serve humanity and do what we're here to do. But it's a big journey. It's a lot of learning. It's a lot of undoing shit and lies. And it's like, man, it's head scratching sometimes. It's hard enough getting your head around this matrix and the programming. Getting into the world of spirituality, religion. Well, I'm not going to go into religion because it's broken. We'll get onto that one day. But spirituality, learning the many levels of spirituality to super consciousness and not supernatural, ultra natural now. We're moving up. We're ascending. So toxic relationships, if it's a boss, it's easier to quit than it is to walk away from a relationship. But a lot of people are having awakenings today, asking questions like, what is this relationship? What am I doing here? You'll start going through an awakening. If one in the relationship is going through an awakening, that person will raise their frequency. They won't be able to get on with that person anymore. The reason is, I'll do another video on it, but basically in our society is trauma attracts trauma. How broken you are is how broken you'll attract somebody. So sometimes broken people will say, I really want the perfect girlfriend or perfect boyfriend. If you want the perfect girlfriend or perfect boyfriend, which don't exist, you've got to become the perfect girlfriend or perfect boyfriend yourself. You have to do the work in order to attract somebody else that's done the work at the same kind of level that you're at. If you don't do your work, you're always going to attract shit. So think about it. If you really are attracting that, spend some time alone. Don't take advice from anybody. Spend some time alone and ask yourself some questions. Look at your triggers and traumas. Heal yourself. Be your own best friend. Be your own best friend. So the next one I want to talk about is a lack of spiritual practice. A lot of us can be very guilty for this simply because of our lifestyles. If you have to work 9 to 5, poor you first. But that's a lot of time out of your life. So sometimes spiritual practice is the last thing that comes to mind. Meditation, 3-minute meditation, any kind of meditation or sitting in silence is better than nothing. Any type of grounding is better than nothing. You know, any type of observing your thoughts is better than nothing. The lack of spiritual practice, so that's not doing meditation in the morning. It's not saying, I'm going to say prayers here for some people. I don't pray. I talk with God, but I don't pray per se. Praying is projecting externally to you. There's nothing external to you. So praying externally is a waste of time. We speak into the ether, but everything's within. So spiritual practices, grounding, walking in nature in bare feet, going down to the beach, standing in a windy day while the wind clears your aura. How good do you feel after going to the beach for the day? Absolutely amazing. You get home and you go, wow, that's amazing. That's everything being recharged. It's been, all the positive ions being taken away from you from Mother Earth by standing barefoot on the ground. You've got the sea spray. Camping is unreal, especially when you have fires, because you have the meditative ability of the fires that really sits inside. So camping is one of the best things you can do. You have all the elements at your disposal. Air, water, fire, earth, plus ether, all of it. So if you go camping and you relax, it's absolutely amazing. And if you don't, do it. Even if you have a little fire in the backyard, a candle, burn a candle and just look into it for 10 minutes. It's amazing. They say if you hold a focused vision for 17 seconds, never got out, I believe. That's one manifestation technique, but it takes ultimate focus and a candle. Have a look, YouTube. The last one I'll talk about is spiritual procrastination. I can be a bit guilty of that myself, only because I'm learning what it actually means. See, for me, when I read something, I have to break it down what the actual word means, what it entitles, what subjects sit next to it that have to be brought on board to have a clear understanding and a full picture of what I'm looking at for full understanding. Get to a point where we can't use the left-hand side of the brain much anymore, the logical side. I've been a very logical person. I've done computer programming, cybersecurity, ethical hacking. My whole background was electronics and frequencies. Played professional drums, a lot of logical stuff. But now I'm realizing we can't use a lot of logic in what we do in the spiritual world. The logic will try and pull it apart, and we don't have the answers to shut Mr. Logic up. So we have to trust. In the spiritual land, we have to trust. We have to use discernment, and we have to trust. We have to trust ourselves, trust in the process, trust in our guides, trust in source. So spiritual procrastination. So that's, sometimes it's like learning a new technique, whether it's meditation technique, healing techniques, whatever it is spiritually, smudging, clearing energy, prayer. If we create these into a habit, we can put them into our lifestyle and we can make room for them. So for example, if I was working, I started at 9 o'clock, I'd make sure I was up around 6 or 5 to make sure I could get some spiritual practice from first thing in the morning. Because for example, 3 o'clock is a great time to get up, 3, 4 o'clock. If you get up that time, no one's going to be up with you. You've got plenty of time to do your spiritual work. There's no distractions whatsoever, and you're good to go for the rest of your day. Same as at night, say after 7 o'clock, no screen time, just read, burn a candle, burn some incense, aromatherapy, have a bath with the magnesium crystals, salts, crystals themselves. But it's learning the spiritual techniques and then embodying them. So it's like eating. Well, some of these eaters can, but like a pizza, we can't really pick up a pizza and stick it in, chew it, and it's gone. We have to chew it, swallow it, chew it, swallow it. It's this process. It's the same as learning. We take bite-sized information, we embody it, we process it, we allow it to work within our brain, especially the subconscious. We take things subconsciously, it goes into the subconscious. When we are not focusing on it anymore, in the brain, things are connecting, lining up, and that's where we go, sometimes. Where we put that problem aside, or not a problem, but a situation aside, and if we put it to the side and don't focus on it anymore, that's generally where you'll get a solution. So for myself, if I've got a big situation I'm dealing with, I'll talk to myself about it at night, and I'll put it into my subconscious, and then I won't think about it. Chances are by the next day, next morning or the next day, I've got an answer. I've got a good, clear, defined answer. So energy is very, very important. It's the most important thing you have. It's your life force. It's your life force. So experiment with that. Start today. Start by throwing out some rubbish, throwing out something that's broken, removing something from your social media, removing a subscription, some emails, tidy up your desktop, tidy up your walls, like whatever it takes, and simplify your life. I've got a video on that. Simplify your life. We overcomplicate everything all the time. If we learn to not only not overcomplicate it, but look at the simple way out of it, that's the way to live life. Simplicity. Look at people living on the farm. Especially, 20 years ago. There was not a lot of distractions compared to society. So it's so much easier and better for them to be genuine people, because they're not trying to tear each other down out in the rural communities. Society is a different story. Everyone is climbing on everyone else's head to get to the top. And that's not what we're here for. I myself, for example, all my 53 years of life was never somebody to stand on someone else's head to get to the top. No way. I do it myself or not at all. I'll have help if I need it. But it's always on my back. Working myself hard. Thinking hard, clarity, efficiency. Efficiency is big for me. And I don't see a lot of efficiency in this world. Especially where I am in Australia. It's a very inefficient place to be. Very inefficient here. So that's the 7 energy leaks. It's a huge subject. But it's very, very, very important. Have a look at your energy, where your energy is flowing. Do you spend hours talking about nothing? Every day? Do you get invited to places you don't really want to go? You don't have to go. You don't have to say you're sick. You just say, look, no, I don't want to come. Why? Because you're boring. There's not much conversation that feels like it's a growth thing here. So I might just give it a miss today. There's no harm in saying no. Saying no is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. How many times have you been asked to help someone move, and on the spot you're like, yeah, righto, and as soon as they walk away, you're like, fuck, I don't want to do that. Then how long do you spend going, oh, well, if I just make this excuses. Let's say it's a week's time. That's a whole week you're gonna battle yourself for a whole week. Sometimes just say no. They've got plenty of other friends. No, I don't want to do that. Sorry, it doesn't align with me. You're allowed. You're allowed. If you close your eyes now, everything disappears. It's only you. It really is only you. I'm the only one here. Everything else is projected of me, same as you. It's a bit to get your head around, I get it. But we've got lots of time. We live in our vehicle, so we've got lots of time to practice, even driving to work. A breathing technique, a podcast, some uplifting, deep focused music. Yeah, there's some really good stuff out there. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.